Alright, Board Game Officer back here. We're going to play a new game today called Pioneer Rail. So this is a flip and write game. So in this game you'll each have your own board and you are a railroad owner trying to expand your railway. And you're going to be competing against other railway owners. Try to plan your railway the best way possible and to satisfy the demands of all the locals. Large caveat here, everything is print and play and not final. So what you see here could definitely change. Quick overview for the setup. What you're going to do is you're each going to grab a sheet. You're going to have your playing card, poker card deck. Then you will take your goal cards and you will separate them out into 3 separate piles with each symbol. So we have the sheriff symbol, we have the horseshoe, and we have the train station. What you're going to do is you're going to shuffle each of these individually. If you're playing multiple player or solo, you're going to set it up differently. So today we're going to play solo, so I'm going to show you how to set it up for the solo play. So with the solo play, with these goals, you are just going to cross these off right there because we're not going to use that part during the solo play. And then with these 3 piles that we have made here, we're going to draw one from each, but we're going to keep them face down. We're not going to look at them yet. And we're going to take the rest of these cards, shuffle them all together. Now, depending on the difficulty that we're going to play, depends on if we want to reveal more cards right now. Right now we're just going to do beginner, so we don't reveal any cards, and we could put these off to the side. And these, on round 2, 3, and 4, we will reveal these cards. So right now for the first round, we're not going to reveal anything, so we'll just put them off to the side for now. The last thing you do is you take all these player cards here, and we're going to shuffle them up and put them off to the side here. So at the start of each turn, we're going to take the top card and we're going to reveal it and discard it. That way we know the Ace of Hearts is not going to be available to pick. Then we reveal the next 2 cards. Now we choose which one we want to keep. And this is what we do with these cards. We look at the card, Ace or Jack, and we write that down in this very first box. And so we could choose if we want to do the Ace of Clubs or the Jack of Diamonds. I'm going to keep this Ace right there, so I put an Ace there. Now because I chose the Ace of Clubs, I will come here to the clubs and I will draw 3 railways that connect to this railroad here, like that. That's 3 right there. That's the first turn. Now we'll go on to the next. We reveal the top card just to discard it so we can see what is not going to be available, and we reveal the next 2 cards. Now, as you are building this out, you're going to discard 1, reveal 2, and pick one of them. What down here, you're playing poker, right? So you're trying to get a set, a full house, 4 of a kind, 3 of a kind. That is what we're trying to get here. The suit doesn't really matter for your poker hand. What the suit matters for is where you're placing those lines. With these lines is each line is only going to have 1. You cannot create a fork in the road unless you use a special ability, which I'll talk about here in a little bit. You are going to have a straight line, and as you can see, each of these has a number. So you need that many lines adjacent to that hex to activate that area. And each area is going to have its own reason why you want to activate it that will kind of mark here on the right side of the board. And you can have up to 6 lines coming away from that point. And then what you're going to do is you're going to play all 4 rounds here. And at the end, you're going to score up all your points. And whoever wins the most wins if you're playing competitive. If you're playing solo, you have to gain at least 60 points at the end. However, these gold cards that we talked about before, on the second round, we're going to reveal one. On the third, we reveal the next one. And on the 4th round, we reveal the last one. In a multiplayer game, you will gain points for getting these gold. However, in solo, whichever ones you have not completed, you'll get a minus 10 points at the end. And you have to get 60 points to win. Let's kind of dive in real quick to show how the points are calculated a little bit. So the first one we're going to talk about, the bandits and the jail cell. So you start off right here with 1 jail available that has 3 spots for 3 bandits, right? When you come to a bandit area here, once you get 2 on there and so you activate that area, if you have a jail that has a spot for a bandit, you will circle that at that point. Let's say we already got activated 3 bandit areas. Right, so we do not have a open jail cell for that bandit. Then we're actually going to minus 1 point. We'll have to circle that -1. The bandit got away, right? We went to his place, he ran away because we didn't have a jail cell. Or if you just get 1 line during your turn, if you don't do 2 lines at once, that also makes the bandit run away. Even if you had a jail cell, if you only do 1 line during your turn, that bandit gets away and you get a -1. Now, if you come to a jail cell place here and you put 3 lines adjacent, now you get to pick which one of these jails you want to open up for more bandits. The next thing we're going to talk about here is the fort. At the very end, you're going to count up for however many sides or rails you have that are on that hex and all of the forts here. Add those up and times it by 2, and that's going to be your final score. Now, the cattle, this one's going to be a little different because what you're going to have to do is actually cut them off from all the other cattle. And you could cut them off with rails, water, and mountains. So let's say we have this come out there, and this come out here. So now that cattle there is blocked off from all the other cattle, therefore we get to circle one of those. And so as we go through, we will circle more and we gain the points for whoever the most right one is. So we don't add up all the points, you just get whichever one is the last circled. Then we have the rail yards. The rail yards, once you get 3 adjacent rails to that hex, you will circle that. At the end of the game, however many lines you have connecting to these cities, you will gain that times whatever that modifier is. Now, something I haven't talked about yet is rails versus network. Railways, right, are these lines here. These railways are going to go to these towns, right? So if you do a town here, when you connect to a town the first time, you get to circle a town. No other rails can ever meet, right? So this railway cannot come down here and meet with that one. The only way they can meet is in those towns. When they meet that way becomes a network. Like that, now this network has 2 towns on it because it's all connected that way. So you're going to connect the biggest network you have with the most towns, you're going to multiply by that. So if your biggest network has 3 towns, you'll do 3 times 3. So that will give you 9 points. Now we come here to the towns. As you see, this is actually already circled right there. What we could do with this is there's actually 5 things we could do when we have one circled. What we're going to do is when we want to use it at any time during any turn, you are going to just cross it off. Now what that does, that gives you 1 extra railway, right? You normally do 3. That means you get 1 extra railway that turn. So you'll get 4 railways to be able to place within that suit. And then you have 5 options of different benefits that you can do. The first one is you can build a bridge across water. Normally you can't go across water, but you can build a bridge by crossing out one of your towns. Or you can pass through a mountain range. The second thing you could do is you can actually go right through an empty hex, right? So you can't go through any of those, but an empty hex, you go right through the middle. The next thing you could do, this is the only way you can make a fort. So if I want to come this way here, I could actually fort that off there. And the last thing you could do, going back to here with the card that we picked, if we pick this king, but we really need to use a diamond to add diamonds, I could use a town to change that suit to a diamond so I could add all my railways to that diamond area. So you get 1 extra railway and 1 of those 5 for every one that you use. And you can use 1 or more during any turn. And the last thing we're going to talk about is this here. This is for your saloons. All right, so we have a saloon there. So when we activate a saloon, we get to mark or circle one of these. That means for that round and on, you get an extra point at the end of that round for however many of that card you have in your hand, right? So if I activated this salon there, and so I circled this ace, and if I had 2 aces in here with a jack, king, and a queen, I would get an extra 2 points from this hand. But that is just from that round and on. So if this next round I do it again, but for a queen, I don't get to go back and add that point. It's just for that round and on. So that's pretty much a quick rundown of how to play the game. Go ahead and jump into an actual playthrough. Alright, so the first quick setup, we're going to cross these out because we're not going to use those. We have picked our 3 cards, and we'll set those off to the side because we won't flip those over until the second round. I have shuffled these cards here, and we will discard that one. So we have an ace. So I'm going to take that ace because you always like to take aces. So I'm choosing that ace, so I'll put that on top. Now I get to draw 3 lines for that ace of spades there. So I get to draw 3 lines in that space. So I'm going to come 1 line, 2 line, 3 line. Now what that did is I already blocked off that cattle right there. So I can come over here and circle that cattle. Now on for the next round. Discard a king, queen, or jack. Let's go ahead and go for a heart this time. So we'll write down the jack. Then we decide what we want to do with the heart railway here. We're going to come down this way. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. Now, since we did 2 rails on that bandit, we get to circle one of these. So we have to be careful not to do too many of those right off the bat until we get another jail cell. We discard that jack. We have an ace or a jack. Ooh. Actually, both of those would be good because we already have an ace and a jack. So both of those will give us one of a kind. Now the question is, do we want a heart track or a club track? Let's go with the club. We're going to take that jack. We're going to add some lines to our club. We're going to go 1, 2, 3. So we can start trying to get that gel there, right there. Discard a queen. We have a king or a jack. Definitely going to go with that jack again, that's for sure. And we have a diamond, so we will do the diamond track. We're going to go 1, 2, 3 there. So we're going to try to get that rail station there. And last card for this round, discard a king. Ooh, let's go ahead and keep that king. So I kind of changed plans here. I wanted to come here to get that gel. However, I am going to use my town to put a road in the middle of a mountain, and then I get one extra one still here. So that's 1, 2, 3, and 4. So what that does, that activates both of these. We're going to activate that, which is our salon. And because I have 3 jacks, I'm definitely going to circle the jack. So that's going to give us 3 extra points this turn. And then also, we captured 1 bandit. We do have space up here, so we'll circle that. Now, that is the end of round 1. As you can see, we have 5 cards left here. So you're not going to go through the deck every time. You're going to have 5 cards left, so you won't see everything every time, which gives a good variety there. Now, we can look it up. So we have 3 of a kind, which gives us 3 points. But because we have that salon circled the jack, we get an extra 3 points because we have 3 jacks, so that will be 6 points. We will shuffle the poker deck. And we're going to reveal our first goal. Ooh, so we have to arrest 6 bandits. So we've already arrested 2. So we need 4 more. So we definitely are going to need a gel. Open up a gel so we could arrest bandits there. I'll put that right off to the side there so we can still see it. And now we go on to round 2. We discard 1 and draw 2. I like keeping aces. And they're both diamonds, so it doesn't matter. So we will add to our diamond track here. So I'm going to add 1 line here. 1 and 2. So that is going to activate that rail station for the end. So we just circle this one here. And then we get to circle another, because that's another saloon. And we get to do another one. I like aces. I usually keep aces, so I'm going to go with a good bet and circle that ace. And then, so that was just 2 lines. My 3rd line, I'm actually going to come here, so I can start coming towards that gel as well. Next turn, discard a 10. We have a queen, or another ace. We will definitely keep that ace. So we have a heart. We'll add to our heart rail line. And I'm going to add 1, 2, 3. Trying to get that rail station as well as that town there. Discard a 10. King or jack. Definitely going to go for that jack, because that will still give us an extra point here. With that diamond, we're going to go 1, 2, 3. So now we only need 1 more line, and then we have another gel, so we can start capturing more bandits. Discard that. So we have a queen or a 10, or diamond or a club. Let's go ahead and go diamond just to make sure we get that gel. So I'm just going to go 1, because that will activate this, and I'm going to circle this one because we need a lot, so I'm going to pick that one that has more. Now I still have 2 lines. 2. That blocks off that cattle and that cattle, so I get 2 more cattles, and actually a 3rd cattle right there as well. I still have 1 more rail. Now we'll go ahead and go along this one so I could capture that bandit. And I'm going to do that one there so I can start filling that up so I can start getting more points. Discard a jack. I want those jacks. King or queen. Forgot to write down that queen last time. Well, we'll definitely go for that queen so we could have 2 of a kind. Now we have a heart. I'm going to go 1, 2. So that means we activated another salon. We'll go ahead, because we have 2 queens, let's go ahead and do queens as well. And then, so that was 1, 2. And 3rd one, I'm going to come here. And because we got to that town, we will circle a town there. And that means we have another town that we could use those special abilities for. And that there is our last round. So we've got 2 pairs, so that's 2 points. But then actually all 5 of those we have a salon for. So that's 5, 6, 7. So that's 7 points. That's actually pretty darn good. We still haven't completed our goal yet. Shuffled up our deck. We'll reveal this other card. Ooh, so this means we need to cut off 5 cattle, which we already got 4, so we're pretty close to that one already. For the next round, so we're gonna dang it, I want those jacks. That's okay. We got queen, that works too. And we're an ace. I don't know why, but I like to keep the aces, so we're gonna go with the ace and diamond. So I'm gonna go 1, 2, so I connect, so I can circle another town. What I'm gonna do here is so that's 1, 2, 3. So I circled that town, but now I'm actually going to use one of those towns so I could create a fork to come right here. That way I don't get a -1, but I capture another bandit, so I could circle that right there. We're going to discard another ace. Dang it. Jack or king. So let's go for that jack. And then a clubs. I'm going to go 1, 2. I don't want to do a 3rd one there because I don't want to get in minus points for that bandit. So I'm going to do 3 there to try to get that bandit as well. So we still need 2 more bandits. Discard that 10. King or a 10. I'm going to keep going for those clubs. So I'll take that king. And now I get 3 more club lines. I'm going to go 1, 2, and 3. So I finished that other salon. So I'm going to circle that king. I also did that bandit, so I'm going to circle another bandit there. Alright, that means we only need 1 more bandit. So we're going to discard a queen. We've got an ace or queen of hearts. So this is the thing, I could take the ace so I at least have a pair, or take the queen and hope for a 10 so I could get a straight, which would give me 5 points. Let's go for the heart. So let's go with the queen. Let's risk it for the biscuit. We had 3 hearts, so we're going to go there. 1, so we get another town. 2, 3, right there, so we could try to get to that town. Alright, last one this round. Discard a jack. We got a queen or a king. Well, we'll at least get a pair, but or 2 of a kind, but we did not get our straight we were hoping for. Let's go ahead and take that king, because what I really want is that heart. So I could go 1, 2, so we get another town. This way to try to get more bandits. Alright, that's the end of our 3rd round. Let's go ahead and shuffle these back up. So we shuffled our deck. We will reveal the 3rd one here. Ooh, that means we need 3 separate stations to connect to a single city. Ooh, buddy. That one almost has 2, but that means that spade has to come all the way down to connect to that 3rd one. That's pretty much our only hope. Well, let's try it. And also I looked here. So we have 1, 2, 3 cattle. Then we have 4, 5, 6, 7. So we already have 7, 6, and 7. Meaning we can discard this one so it doesn't give us minus 10 points at the end. We still need 1 more bandit, and then we'll see if we can get this one or not. So we will discard that 10. We got a jack of spades or a jack of hearts. So we're definitely going to take a jack. So now what do we want? Do we want hearts or spades? What we just talked about, we definitely want spades. So because we're kind of in a hurry, I'm going to use one of my towns because I got plenty. I need to use those. So that means I get 4 lines, and I can take a shortcut. So I could go 1, 2, 3, 4. So now I'm actually almost pretty close. I just got to get those 2 there now. So we've got an ace of spades or another jack. Let's take that jack. We're going to take that jack again. Of clubs, because we need to use another town to cross this water here. And then 1, 2. Oh, and I have 4 because I did that, so 4. Discard a 10. Queen of hearts or queen of spades. Awesome. We will take a queen, obviously. And we'll take that spade, and we're going to use another town. So we could shortcut go 1, 2. So that, just doing those 2, we actually do achieve that one. I didn't think that was going to happen. Now we still need those bandits though. We only have 2 more rounds, but I still have 2 more lines to go. So I guess then I'll go 1, 2, and we will get our 6th bandit. Awesome. So we achieved our old goals. Now what we just need to do is make sure we get 60 points so we still could win. And we got 2 more rounds to do it. We'll discard an ace. We got a king of spades or a 10 of clubs. So I'm actually going to take that 10. So I have clubs, so I'm going to go 1, so it gives me another town. I'm actually going to use a town so I can create a fork off that road so I get another town. So that's 1, 2, then I'm going to go 3, 4. Because I have 4 because I used a town, and that means I get 1 more bandit. Alright, last turn here, we'll discard a king. We got ace of clubs and a king of hearts. So I'm going to pick that king. That means I got 3 hearts. So I'm going to use one of my towns to create a little fork there. So that means I created another railway. Then, so that's 1, and I still have 3 more because I used that. So 1, 2, 3. So that we captured another bandit. Alright, I forgot to add up last time. So last time all we got was a pair. But once again, we have a salon for each of those. That's 5, 6, 7 points there. And once again, we have just a pair there. However, that 10 we do not have, so we have 4 plus 2, so that's only 6. Alright, now let's go through each of these things. So we have 1 plus 1 plus 1, so that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 19. So we get 19 points there. Now let's go through these cattle. I usually miss those a lot. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, We actually almost separated all of them but those two. So that's 10. So that's 6, 7, 8. Whoa, what? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Holy cow. So we got 33 points. Now, this is the best I've ever done. We get times 4 with our biggest network. And as you can see, these 3 are all connected. That's the only one we didn't connect. So we get 2. Because we connected those 3, we could connect or count all the towns that we're connected to in that whole network. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have 5 times 4 is 20 points. Now we get 1 point for either all of these, whether they have a slash or not, we still get a point for it. So we have 8 points there. And we'll add up these here as well. So that's 12, that's 14, so that's 26. That's 28 with those 2. That's 52 with those 2. That's 80 plus 26. So 106 for our total. That beat my record by 2. Last time I got 104. All right. So there you have it. That is Pioneer Rails. Super fun, as you can see, kind of going around. Super fun. I think it would be a lot of fun with multiplayer. I really want to play with someone else here. Try a lot of strategy, a lot of point gaining, a lot of different things. I love having those goals because those kind of give you something else to go after. So each time is a little bit different. Lots of fun. There are 2 sides to this. And this side does have a couple new things. There's different ways you can play. There's expansions coming out as well, which I don't have. But super fun. This is just a print and play I had. But this definitely gives you a little understanding of how it plays, kind of the turn and everything, and hope you liked it. Thanks.